So students, today's topic is endocrine system. Now what is endocrine system? It is a system of coordination which is done with the help of chemicals called hormones. Okay? Now the question arises that when we have nervous coordination, when we have a well-developed nervous system, then why do humans require an endocrine system? Because, dear students, there are certain limitations of the nervous system. Now, what are these limitations? Number one, the nervous system, which is electrochemical in origin, is an excellent means of coordination. But the thing is that it cannot potentially reach each and every cell, because each and every cell cannot be connected with the help of nerves. Okay? Second thing is that once the impulse has passed from the terminal ends, nerve endings of one neuron to the dendrites of the other neuron through the synaptic cleft, then it cannot immediately go on passing the communication, go on passing the impulse. It needs a certain time for resetting. Now this problem is overcome with the help of the development of endocrine system in the human beings. This system is a bit slow, but it can reach each and every cell, right? Slow, it can reach each and every cell. It doesn't require any presetting, doesn't require any resetting time. It is gradual, persistent, and it shows better diversity. Now, what does this word endocrine mean? Now, the word endocrine means that the glands which are without ducts. In life processes, we talked about certain glands like liver, pancreas, salivary glands. So they have ducts to pour out their secretions. But when we talk about endocrine glands, which are depicted in this figure, so location is also there and the different endocrine glands are there. They do not have any ducts to pour out their secretions. Then how do they work? Their secretions are directly added into the bloodstream. They remain dormant unless and until they reach their specific target. Okay? So, endocrine glands are the glands which do not have any ducts to pour out their secretions. Now, this pituitary is said to be the master endocrine gland. Now, why do we call it master gland? Because all other glands, that is the thyroid, the parathyroids, pancreas, adrenals and testes, are under its control. Now my question is this pituitary actually master gland? Now see, again there is a controversy, because pituitary is under the control of hypothalamus. Now hypothalamus is the part of the nervous system. And what is its location? It is located in the forebrain, just below the thalamus. Now it produces releasing hormone, abbreviated by RH. Releasing hormone. Now this releasing hormone controls the secretions of pituitary. Okay? So this hypothalamus is actually the bridge between nervous system and endocrine system. Now, whenever there is certain deficiency of a chemical, that is hormone in our body, or there is excessive hormone in our body that is detected by our nervous system, then the message is there with hypothalamus And in accordance to that, hypothalamus orders pituitary to further order any of the gland either to start releasing their secretion or to stop, right? So this is how this system works. Okay, so hypothalamus just below the thalamus. Okay, so this is the key factor and it controls pituitary, which in turn controls all the other endocrine glands of our body. Now, the secretions of endocrine glands are called hormones. So, what are hormones? Hormones are the secretions of endocrine glands. Now, what is their characteristic feature? The characteristic feature of the hormones is, number one, they are required and are secreted in very small amounts. They are not required in a very large amount. Then, the site of production is totally different from the site of action, and these are added into the bloodstream. They go on running in the bloodstream and they start their function once they reach their target. Okay, and mostly their chemical nature is that they are steroids in nature, whereas rest of the enzymes which are produced by other are generally proteinaceous. So enzymes are generally proteinaceous, which are produced by glands which have ducts, but hormones are generally steroid in nature and they are the secretions of endocrine glands. So sometimes they may be proteinaceous, but generally they are steroids in nature. Now, what are the various secretions of pituitary, the master gland? It is present in the anterior lobe of the brain. First of all, growth hormone. Now, growth hormone is related to the growth. Now, you know the baby when born is very small. Then the baby grows into a toddler and then to the child and then the teenager, then the adult. So all this growth is regulated by growth hormone. Okay. What is its function? It helps in the development of bones, the elongation of bones. Now, there are two factors which are there due to the deficiency or the excess production of growth hormone. Now, if the growth hormone is produced in very large amount, it is called hypersecretion and it leads to gigantism, like a person will become more than 7 feet tall. And if it is in less quantity, that is there is hypoproduction of growth hormone is produced in less quantity, the person will remain short-heighted, that is a dwarf. So there are two defects associated with this growth hormone, that is gigantism and dwarfism. Okay. Next is TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone. Now the thyroid is the largest endocrine gland. It is butterfly shaped gland and it is a very big gland. Now it produces thyroxine. Thyroxine is the hormone which is going to deal with the basal metabolic rate. Now again there are two conditions. Either there is hypothyroidism or there is hyperthyroidism. Now if there is hypothyroidism, then that is secretion of less thyroxine. Now when there is hypothyroidism, thyroid thinks that my production is very less, it starts increasing its size. So it leads to goiter. This part of the throat enlarges because of the enlargement of the thyroid. And due to hypothyroidism, the person becomes sluggish, lazy and may gain weight. Then the other thing, that is hyperthyroidism that leads to hyperactivity. Now, the basic mineral required for the production of thyroxine is iodine. So if iodine is less in the diet, then the person may suffer from thyroidism, that is hypothyroidism. Okay? And in case of small children or infants, deficiency of thyroxine leads to cretinism. Cretinism, that is feeble-mindedness. The IQ is less. Next we come to ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. Now their function is to control the secretion of adrenals. Okay, these are the glands which are present on the kidneys, adrenal glands. So the important secretion which we are going to deal with you in your syllabus is called adrenaline. Okay, so adrenaline is also called fight or flight hormone or emergency hormone. It helps you to act during emergency situations. Like under a normal circumstance, we will never jump in front of the moving car. We will try to save ourselves. But if we see that a child is there and the car may overrun the child may get crushed under the car, we immediately run towards the car and try to grab the child away. This action is under the flow of adrenaline, the emergency hormone. Now what happens during the spurt of adrenaline in your body? There is more flow of blood to your skeletal system, your skeletal muscles. That is, you get more power to do some work. For example, when you are watching some matches, so you see the last ball is there and sixer is required, and then there is a lot of adrenaline and the person can hit the ball very hard. Or during the war, it is very difficult to kill someone or to go into the enemy positions. At that time, the adrenal, the pituitary orders ACTH to increase the secretion of adrenaline. Okay? And during this system, the blood, during this activation of ACTH, adrenaline, when adrenaline flow is there, the more blood will be flowing toward the skeletal muscles and less will be flowing through the digestive system. Okay? Next we come to FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Now follicle stimulating hormone, it helps to promote, stimulate the growth of ovaries in males, growth of ovary in females and growth of testes in males. Okay? Then there is luteinizing hormone, LH. Luteinizing hormone is the hormone which promotes the secretions of hormones from gonads, that is testes in case of the males and ovaries in case of the females. Right? So these hormones are testosterone from the testes and estrogen and progesterone from the ovaries. Okay? So testes in males and ovaries in females. Ovary in females, right? And testes in males. So luteinizing hormone helps in the secretion of hormones from these glands, that is ovaries in females, estrogen, progesterone. Estrogen and progesterone, these are helpful in the secondary sexual characters and the maintenance of pregnancy. Then the testosterone hormone produced by testes is responsible for secondary sexual characters in the males and the production of sperm. Next we come to prolactin. Prolactin is the hormone again secreted from pituitary. Now you see pituitary is a very small gland, size of a pea, एक मटर के दाने जितना, and see the number of secretions and see its significance in our body. So then vasopressin and prolactin. Now prolactin is responsible for secretion of mammary glands during the birth of the child. When the child is still in the mother's womb, the mammary glands start producing milk, so that when the child is born, the child is to be fed. Vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone. Now this hormone is very much important for our body, because if there is electrolyte imbalance in our body, sodium potassium imbalance in our body, then the person goes insane. All the electrical signals, that is the brain, will get affected. So it maintains this water and electrolyte balance in our body. Next we come to oxytocin. Now oxytocin is also called birth hormone. Why? Because it helps in producing labor in the contraction of uterus, and then it maintains the smooth birth of the fetus, and it in turn also helps in the production of milk. So that is all about endocrine